Looking for the perfect hidden gem for your next night out? Welcome to Almost on the Lake, where the food is delicious. The service is top-notch. And the atmosphere feels like home. Family owned and locally loved. Come see why everyone is talking about Almost on the Lake.
Nestled in the heart of historic downtown Wilkesboro, the 1915 offers a wedding experience like no other. Once a federal courthouse and post office, the 1915 combines rich history with timeless charm. From intimate gatherings to full-day rentals, we provide the perfect backdrop for your most cherished moments. With indoor and outdoor options, bridal and groom suites, every detail is crafted just for you. Make your wedding unforgettable at the 1915, Wilkesboro's historic wedding venue, where your story begins.
Everybody knows Roselli's on 10th for the best authentic pizzas and pasta dishes in the region, but the real magic happens when you ask for the off-menu specials. That's when John steps out from behind the line, flashes that grin and says, "What are you in the mood for tonight? Have you tried one of our mouth-watering subs?" And don't forget their famous desserts, because after a long week, you've earned it. Roselli's on 10th.
Roselli's is now open for lunch, Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. till 3 p.m.
Roselli's on 10th, come and taste the divine.
Closed captions for this episode of Life in Wilkes is brought to you by Deal Insurance Agency in Wilkesboro, an award-winning, experienced, family-owned and operated agency with service and coverage that goes above and beyond expectations. Join us on a captivating journey as we explore the charm, history, and vibrant culture of Wilkes County. Discover the hidden gems, inspiring stories, and remarkable people that make Wilkes a place worth knowing and celebrating. Join us now as we experience the unique essence of Life in Wilkes.
Stacy Dunn, good to see you.
Good to see you, Carl.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
We met not long ago at the Welcome Center, but I was talking to somebody over the weekend. They said, "Is it the Welcome Center, the Visitor Center, the Travel Center? What is it officially?"
It is officially a visitor center.
Okay.
Because we're already in the state of North Carolina.
Right.
Welcome centers are on the line, on a state line.
Right.
So we're a visitor center.
But I'm sure local folks call it a Welcome Center.
Probably. It
Right.
gets called that as well.
Right. But it's a visitor center.
Yes.
Visitors. And you make them feel welcome.
We do.
That's great. Well, now why don't we tell everybody officially what you do and where you do it at?
Well, I manage the visitor center on 421. It's between exits 282 and 285. So we have a lot of visitors that come in on a daily basis. So there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that has to happen
To make it so inviting.
to make it all work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, how long have you been there?
I've been there over 12 years.
So does that go back to the beginning?
No, it opened in 2009.
Okay.
So it was open a little while before I started there.
How did that happen? What were you doing before, and when this came up, what said, "Oh, that would be great for me"?
Well, my first husband had passed, and I go to church with Linda Cheek, who was then the chamber president.
Right.
So Linda asked me one Wednesday night. She volunteers to do our meals on Wednesday night in the kitchen, which I was a part of. And she was like, "Are you about ready to go back to work?" And I had retired from Lowe's Home Improvement. That's when their offices were still here.
Right.
So I said, well, let me think about it. So, long story short, I went to work for Linda at the Visitor Center part-time. So that was at the end of 2013.
Okay, so that was your beginning there. But let's back up a little bit more since you said Lowe's. So how long did you work with Lowe's?
I was with Lowe's over 15 years.
Okay, what'd you do there?
I worked in the travel department.
Okay.
And when I say travel, not travel as in vacation travel, and we were instrumental in scheduling the trucks from our
Okay.
distribution centers to our store locations.
Right. That's interesting. How long did you do that?
I was, that particular job I was in probably about 10 years, 10 to 11 years.
You were 10 years in a travel department. So I'm seeing the seeds being sown there in your psyche, that you get that. And then Linda at church, it doesn't surprise me at all that you said Linda would work with the food program. She's such a caring and giving person.
Yes.
And people who care and give, they're always that way, aren't they?
Always.
Yeah, that's a great thing. So when she said the travel center, when she first said it, what did you think?
Well, truthfully, I'm one of those that had lived in Wilkes County most all my life and had never been in there.
Oh, okay.
So she said, well, go out, take a look, see what you think.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. And when I walked through the doors, I was just like most visitors when they're there the first time. They're like, wow.
Right.
I had no idea. And then my second thought was, how in the world will I ever order all these brochures?
There are a lot of them, right?
There's a lot. There's over 500 there. So
Yes.
it was a challenge, but I just felt that was where I needed to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I needed to get back out in the public, and I just, I had a good feeling about it.
Mm-hmm. So when let's talk about those first days when you said, Linda, okay, I'm in. What happened next?
Well, she met me out there my first day, which happened to be on my birthday.
Oh.
So I started my first day at work on my birthday. She officially showed me around, kind of gave me the gist of what the job would be, and I pretty much just jumped in.
Right.
The person I was replacing, she had not left yet, so I worked with her for a couple of weeks.
Okay, so you had a transition period from her showing you the ropes, if you will.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about the center now. So we have a frame of reference of where you came from, or at least a little piece.
Right.
We won't do the deep dive. We'll do that next time.
That's okay.
Okay. It's a very special visitor center because it has a distinction that very few have.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
Well, it was the first North Carolina rest area / visitor center that the DOT built that was a sustainable visitor center.
Now, when we say sustainable, I've been there. I've seen all the billboards, and I understand what that means. But for everybody else, why don't you describe what that means and why that's important?
It is. You're taking materials on site. They qualified as a LEED, LEED, which stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Development. So they try to use as much of the natural resources that are on site to incorporate back into the grounds and the building.
Okay. So you mean like they recycle water and the rainwater?
Yes.
And do you have solar there too?
We have solar there. They recycle the rainwater that goes through a filtration system. There's 13 geothermal wells. It goes through a filtration, and it's used indoor to flush the urinals and the commodes inside.
And that's collected from rain?
From the rainwater that is caught off of the roof.
Okay. So
it is stored.
And that's a savings, right?
That is the savings. Then, like you said, we have the solar panels, which is another savings.
Is solar enough to power everything, or is it supplemental?
No, not quite. You still have electricity, but it cuts that usage considerably. So they incorporate that in the, I won't get into the technicalities of that loop system, but anyway, you have to have so much green space, which is like we have an 0.8 of a mile walking trail.
Right.
You have the trees that were there, it was used, they recycled, and all the mulch was used on the ground. Some of the benches that were out there, they cut the trees and made them into benches.
Okay. So in the beginning, it was a piece of land that was just a raw piece of land. It had trees and it had to be developed.
Correct.
But everything was used back on the property that
Yes.
could be.
Everything that could be was used back on the property. And then whenever they come in to do the landscaping, they did as much native plants to this area as possible.
Does that become a talking point for visitors? Are they interested in that part of you not only have a clean bathroom and information, but they're at a place that great attention to detail has been made so that it's environmentally friendly?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We get people in there every week asking if we have literature on that program that they're interested in. We have a monarch butterfly sanctuary. And we actually have visitors that will send us seeds to plant out there to attract the butterflies.
Oh, wow. And do you plant them?
We do.
Okay, great.
We do.
It's monarch season now. They're all over Wilkes County.
Yes.
All right. So the trail, I've walked the trail. I think I've experienced all the things you can visually see and read all the plaques. So it's very informative. So not only had it received accreditation for being the first, but it gets some attention in the region as well, right?
Yes, it does. When it was built, it was the only one that had the gold certification.
And that's the top. That's the very top.
Well, there's one more. I think platinum is the very top.
Okay.
And I don't know if I don't think there's one in North Carolina.
A platinum?
But I don't think there's a platinum in North Carolina, to my knowledge. And as far as I know, our visitor center is still the only one that is certified gold.
You have a lot of comments from people that come in and do what you do at a visitor center, and they're taking pictures and they're commenting, I've heard, on how great the facility actually is.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
We have visitors that come from all over, not only North Carolina, the United States, but worldwide. And there's not many days that go by that we don't have someone come in and say, we've traveled everywhere, and this is the cleanest, nicest rest area we have ever seen. And you have more information here on the entire state of North Carolina than we have found anywhere.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, it makes us feel wonderful. I mean, that's what we're there for.
Right.
You know. And so when people come in and recognize that, it's great. Our outside team, Kelly and her team, there's 5 that work out there. They do a fabulous job on the grounds. They don't, the grounds, the mowing, that part is contracted out. But the ones that are there day in and day out, I just cannot say enough good things about all of them that keep it so clean. And then our group inside, there's 5 of us inside. Right. And, I mean, it's a team. It takes a team to pull it all together and make it work.
Because a lot of people are coming through the doors. So people who are traveling, they're out walking around. Even though you have trash receptors, I imagine occasionally something happens. They've got pets, and it's just that normal thing. But have you noticed a difference because it is such a nice place to stop? The grounds are nice. Walking on the trail is great. I've done that. It's not you're not getting a mile. Well, you could do a few circles and get your mile in, but things happen. But have you gotten any sense that when people stop and when they visit, they're a little kinder to your facility than they might be others, just because it is so nice in the first place.
Yes, I think so. You know, I think the traveling public appreciate that, and they know that that's how they want to find areas that they stop. And some of them incorporate that in their trip. You know, they're like, we've been here before, so we wanted to make sure that we stopped here. Instead of stopping at just a restaurant down the highway, they will wait till they get to our location.
Really?
Because they've come through the area before, so they want to come back.
That makes you feel pretty good, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, you have your paid staff, and then you have some people that volunteer as well.
Yes,
Talk
we
about
do.
that.
We have myself, and then paid staff. We have Amy and Bill and Kathy and Hope is our paid staff. And then we have volunteers. I can think of 2 or 3 that has actually been there since it opened.
So before you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Very faithful. I mean, they have always been there. And then we have new ones that have heard about us, come out, want to know if they can volunteer. And, you know, they're a big help.
Sure. I'm curious, having volunteers for that long at a visitor center. So it's different than other type of volunteer work, right?
Right.
So what did they say? Why do they keep on coming back? Why did they say, I want to volunteer here rather than, the hospital or wherever?
I think it's because they get to interact with so many different people. It's always going to be different.
Sure.
There is never a day that's going to be the same.
That's
because you're
right.
never going to have the same people. So every day you go in is a different experience.
No Groundhog Day for you.
No.
Well, that's pretty. I hadn't thought about that, and that's why I wanted you and I to sit down and actually chat about this, because the visitor center and is. I know that it's special. You know that it's special,
Right.
and it's certifiably special. But it's not something we always think about. And then the idea of the volunteers, and why would volunteers want to work there and give their time there? And it's because they get to meet the world there, don't they?
Oh, yes. Yes, and I think it surprises people that there are people that comes from all over the world.
How did that change your outlook on society by meeting all these people from everywhere?
It does give you a new perspective because you're, like I said, you're always encountering new people in new cultures. So you learn. We learn from the people that come in as we get to know them and talk to them, and they tell us about where they're from, what they're used to, what they have at home. So they want to do something different. So we learn about the people that come through, which can be very educational. So
how does that translate then? So you're meeting all these interesting people, and you have your regulars, if you will, and then here's somebody from Germany and from England and from Scotland, wherever they're from, and you're learning more. How does that translate into the way you think about the responsibility for this visitor center? Is it more than just, here's a clean bathroom? Is it more than that?
Oh, absolutely. It makes you realize that you need to have a lot of different things to offer them. Because what's important for one group may not be for another. You may have some that tends to be more drawn to arts. And then you may have some that wants to be outside. So we try to, that's why we have such a wide variety there.
Right.
It makes you want to have something for everybody that comes through there.
And all the things that you had done before, had you imagined the possibilities of the things that the Carolinas have to offer to the extent that you do now? No, I've learned a lot since I have been there. You've always heard the saying, we tend to overlook what's in our own backyard. Right.
And that is so true. We'll get people that'll come from just down the road. I mean, maybe let's just say Winston-Salem. And we've got a Winston-Salem guide there. and they'll pick it up and they'll just be looking through it and they'll be like, well, I live there. I had no idea we had this.
Right.
So, and it's the same for Wilkes.
Mm-hmm. The same thing. Do you get many people from Wilkes County, people who live not far from the center? Do you get many of those people who come in?
No, not enough. And I think it's because a lot of people think that we're just Wilkes County. They don't realize that we're a regional visitor center and we represent 10 counties. But not only do we represent those 10 counties, we have information in there from the mountains to the coast.
Right.
And then a lot of people that live here, they'll say, well, we've been to Winston, but we was almost home, so, we just went on home.
Right.
But we are seeing more people from Wilkes coming in.
So if somebody lives in Wilkes County, they can come to the visitor center and not only maybe learn a little bit more about the county, but the 10 counties that you're involved with, that you're helping to promote, but then the rest of the state as well. So
absolutely.
So could mom and dad come in and actually have an opportunity to sit there for 30 minutes and look at materials and plan their vacation, go into the coast? Can they see all of those things there?
Absolutely.
Have you seen that happen?
Yes. Yes. Some of them will come in and there will be like, we've just retired, we're, planning some trips. They'll pick up several of the visitors guides that's there, and they'll just go sit down on the couch and they'll just start looking through them, and then they might say, oh, well, this looks interesting, what else have you got for this area? And then they'll go get this, and by the time they leave, they may have their whole vacation planned.
Wow.
So and you can literally do that there.
So is that something you invite people to do? So other people watching from wherever, but especially in the Wilkes region, asking them to come in and just learn more about the state in a very comfortable, relaxed environment. Is that kind of your idea?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I think they would be amazed at everything that they would find in there.
I think your facility is also a bit more intimate. We just recently saw an art exhibit there, and then when I visited, we walked around, and I says, "Oh, who did this fabric?" And you told me the story about what's the company that does the Crossnor weaving, right? And they had all these things, that beautiful. It looks like a tapestry piece, but it's not. But that as you come in, on the right, is that one always there, or is that?
No, that is there specific for Avery County and for Crossnor weavers.
Okay.
We normally will have like homemade quilts.
Okay.
Miss Joanne Nichols. We have a lot of her quilts that hang there, but depending on what county is there, we give them the opportunity for that space first, and if they have like a quilters club or whatever and they want to bring in their quilt and display it, then that's open for them to do.
So some type of a textile or fabric driven display there. Okay, that's good. And then I notice you also have, from this area, the wineries, and they would have their wine on display and those type of things. Yes,
that's a big thing for this area.
Yeah. So the artwork that we just witnessed there, with David, and we actually had an interview with him, and he could not say enough kind things about the center. He was just it was almost speechless how much he appreciated what the exhibit has done for him and allow him to show his art there. And I think you said it was his second time there?
Yes. Yes, he displayed there once before. He had some of his church paintings before it grew to this exhibit, but he had a lot of the local mountain exhibits, the attractions there.
And you have some other artists that are fairly regular, I suppose. There was a lady painting when I was in recently as well.
Yes.
So she was actually, she was necessarily displaying, she was physically painting her work there.
Yes, we used to do a lot of demos prior to COVID, and that kind of closed that down. But this year, we're trying to get back into that. We're trying to do on Fridays, having live demos, be it either painting or pottery or music or woodworking, to where the artists can actually come in and set up and do their work there. and the visitors can watch them and interact with the artist.
How does that work? How do they respond? Number one, the artists, because they're coming in and they're doing this, and I'm sure they're doing this to hope that it gets their work exposure.
Sure.
Maybe they can do some business, but then from the visitor standpoint, your customers, right, who are coming in, are they really enjoying that part of the week when they visit?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, they really seem to. They love talking to a live body that is there that they can stand and watch and ask questions and get feedback. That seems to go over very well with our visitors.
That would go well. I enjoy that. I enjoy talking to artists, so that makes a lot of sense. I noticed some beautiful pieces you had on the wall as well, really large pieces by a regional artist.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about him. I followed his work for a long time, and I was very pleased when I walked into your center to see his work there. Tell us who he is and what people have to say about his work.
That is Kent Paulette. He lives at Powderhorn, and we came across Kent when he was very first getting started. And Kent actually came there and set up with a blank canvas over at the large windows where all the light comes in.
Right.
And it was amazing to watch that canvas come to life. Yeah, he was just throwing paint here and there, and you
Right.
thought, oh my goodness, it's going to be a mess.
Right.
But to see it take shape and come to life and see the end result is just amazing to watch. And Kent is pretty much self-taught, and he's just such a kind person. I mean, the art that you saw, he lets us keep it on display all the time. He's kind of like, it's here for people to enjoy. If it sells, he will bring us a piece and switch it out. But he loves art and the beauty and the mountains that surround him, and he's just been such a vocal point to have his art in that specific spot that we have him.
People spot his work, don't they?
Oh yes, he's very recognizable.
Right.
He's very unique.
Yeah, I think so. I've watched some of his social media and just his interactions with nature and
Yes.
and how he brings those things to life. It is impressive.
Very much so.
Is it lost on you that you not only get to do your job there, but you get to be surrounded by artists and art and all these interesting people?
No, it's wonderful. It's, I talk about getting to see the different visitors that come through, which is a plus. That's always a good thing, too. But to get to interact with all these different artists and learn what the area has to offer, and this area has so many different talented people in it. It's just amazing. So to us, to be able to, every 2 months, we get to see something different.
Right.
So,
because that's your rotation schedule.
Yes. Most of the time it's 2 months. Some will go out to 4, just depending. But it's always at least a 2-month rotation.
So travelers who are regulars, if you
Yes.
will, who come up to the mountains, they may have homes in the mountains and they stop by. They have an opportunity over a year to see a lot of different things.
They do, and they recognize that.
Do they comment about that?
They do. They'll come in and, they say, well, we just wanted to stop and see what you had on display right now. When we come back, we'll stop because it'll be something different.
Right.
So, the ones that come on a regular basis, they expect that. Because that's what they've come to know.
That's unique here as well, because all travel centers are not that way.
No. But we're the only ones that I know of in this area that does that. It's like Perry Lowe Orchards brings us apples in the fall.
Right.
When the apples start coming in, they'll bring us the apples, and we'll put them in baskets to share with the visitors.
Right.
And those same visitors get used to that. They'll come in and they'll be like, what, no apples? Last time we was here, we got apples. And we'll be like, well, it's spring. It's not apple season,
Right.
But it shows you that they are paying attention to what's going on there. They recognize it.
Isn't it nice, as we talk about the same people, to know that your center has become a regular
Yes.
part of people's travel plans. of course, you have plenty of people just stop one time and that's all.
Right.
But you've got, is the number of people who it's regular in their travel now, is that a large number?
I would say so. I mean, we get a lot of visitors through there, but we see a lot of familiar faces too. And I think as the word gets out, what all we do have to offer,
Right.
I can see that number increasing.
Being better.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. So when you talk to your family and friends and they say, who don't keep up with you daily, or maybe you haven't seen them in a while, and they say, well, what are you up to, Stacy? What do you say?
I said, work mostly. We're always setting up new exhibits. We're always getting new material in. We're always having new people come through. So, generally there's a story to tell of some sort there of what's been going on, because it's usually something different.
Yeah, that's great. You're not only at the visitor center, but you enjoy the culinary experiences in Wilkes County yourself, you and your husband, right?
Absolutely, yes.
I've seen you at one not long ago, and that's certainly Roselli's is a place that a lot of people go out of tradition, I think.
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
Out of tradition. But we have a lot of great places to eat in Wilkes County.
We do.
And great places to get coffee. So let's talk about that for a moment, as how the visitor center, how it actually impacts Wilkes County and the businesses that are travel related, or things that a traveler would, like you stop and eat, you stop and get coffee. Maybe you're looking for antiques. I mean, there are a lot of things. So how does that work?
Well, 9 times out of 10, when a visitor comes in, we are going to personally interact with them. Now, if you have 50 people in there at one time, you may not get every single one of them.
Sure.
But if you're giving them directions, where's a good place to go look for antiques? Where's a good place to eat? So that gives us an opportunity to share what businesses we have here in Wilkes.
Okay.
And although the businesses cannot have their information, like in the form of a rack card or a business card in there per se, we can have it behind the counter.
Okay.
And whenever visitors ask us about antique shops, like a lot of times what I will do for restaurants or for shopping is I will make up my own list of antique shops. And when they ask, we will hand them that list.
Right.
If they ask for restaurants, we'll give them a list of our restaurants. We have a visitor's map that is color-coded that has attractions, shopping, restaurants.
In Wilkes County.
In Wilkes County,
Okay.
and in Avery, Watauga, and Ashe counties as well.
Right.
So we can highlight the different businesses and restaurants depending on what they're looking for. So I tell businesses and restaurants, just because you can't have like a rack card in there to advertise, we're the best advertisement you can have.
Right.
Because we can interact with the visitor personally and send them to a Roselli's or to a Dooley's or to
Sixth in Maine or wherever.
Sixth in Maine, wherever. Key City Antiques. I mean, it just depends on what they're looking for.
So my curiosity bell went off. Why can't they have? Because I think other people will say, well, why can't they have their cards there? Why can't they have their brochures there?
We are a state-owned DOT facility. So because it is state-owned, Raleigh has to approve everything that goes in there. So before I can display a visitor's guide, a rack card, anything, they have to send that information to Raleigh and get an approval letter. And if it comes back, yes, you're approved to display and distribute, then they can send me the information along with that approval letter. We keep the letter on file, and then we can put their information out there.
Right.
Some of it may be for display, for distribution only. Those we keep behind the counter, and we can hand those out, but we can't display them.
Right.
That just has to meet Raleigh's
That's
and
their
see commerce guides.
So that's a good distinction. It's not just a visitor center, but it's part of the official travel center program for the state of North Carolina.
Yes.
So everyone's under the same guidelines.
Yes, all the welcome centers in North Carolina, we fall under the guidelines of their brochure approval.
Okay. All right. So that makes that pretty simple. So, but if Wilkes County were to have a travel guide and it went through the process through Raleigh and it gets approved, and then it could be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good idea for someone.
Absolutely.
A good idea.
That's what
for
I've been
someone.
trying to tell people.
That's right. Wow, we'll just help rally the cause there. That's great.
Yes.
What else do you have to say to folks in Wilkes County and in other places about the place that you've been working for 12 years now?
I would encourage them to come out personally and see what we have to offer. I think they will be surprised at what's in there, because it is so much more than just Wilkes. So many people think there's nothing to do in Wilkes, and there's lots to do in Wilkes County and the surrounding areas. So I would just encourage them to personally come in and see what we have to offer, see what's here.
Enjoy a little Southern hospitality.
Absolutely.
I love that. Stacy, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your journey with discovering the Travel Visitor Center and staying and welcoming so many people to the area. I can't imagine that's not a good thing for them and a good thing for the area too.
Well, that's what we strive for, and I appreciate you having us here, Carl.
Great. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you for spending time with us on Life in Wilkes. We value you as a viewer and appreciate when you share the show with your friends and family. Be sure to bookmark our channel and join us again on the next episode of Life in Wilkes.